Hello, everyone. Amid the glittering lights of royalty and the ceremonial bows at Buckingham Palace, a simmering undercurrent is rising, threatening to disrupt the delicate balance maintained for decades. This unrest comes not from external adversaries, but from the very heart of the British royal family, where Prince William, heir to the throne, is taking bold, unprecedented steps. In a decision that has stunned public opinion and shaken the royal inner circle, William is said to have quietly removed Queen Camilla from a charitable award bearing the name of his mother, Princess Diana. This award is not merely a tribute, but a symbol of the ideals, compassion, an enduring legacy of the woman once hailed as the people's princess. No official statement, no clear explanation. Yet the action alone carries the weight of a silent proclamation. It raises a thorny question. Is this merely a personal move? Powerful message from a son who witnessed his mother's suffering and tragedy amid family turmoil. Beneath William's composed exterior lies a rising resolve, a declaration of boundaries between past and present, between loyalty to family and loyalty to truth. And perhaps, from this point forward, the silent conflict within the British royal family can no longer be concealed. So, what truly transpired behind the closed doors of the royal household? Why has a seemingly minor decision sparked an internal upheaval? Join us as we trace every detail, every hidden clue behind the silence, to uncover the full truth behind Prince William's unexpected strike. The BBC interview scandal. In June 2021, the world's attention turned to Buckingham Palace. A major event had just unfolded, stirring old memories and reopening old wounds. The BBC had officially accepted the findings of an investigation led by Lord Dyson. The report revealed that the iconic 95 panorama interview with Princess Diana was not obtained through honest means, but through lies, forged documents, and manipulation. BBC journalists had deceived Diana to secure the interview. One of the most talked about moments in royal history. The truth was finally exposed. And it hit hard. Shortly after, Prince William stepped before cameras outside Kensington Palace. He appeared deeply affected, his face reflecting pain, frustration, and sorrow. As he began to speak, his voice was calm but carried intense emotion in every word. He stated that the BBC's acceptance of Lord Dyson's findings was rightful. But he also emphasized the gravity of the issue.
That BBC employees lied and used fake documents to obtain the interview with my mother.
His voice steady, yet heavy. His words resonated not only in the streets of London, but across newsrooms, living rooms, and social media worldwide. For William, this was not just a news report. It was personal, deeply personal. The loss of his mother, Princess Diana, remained a profound wound. Now, he was forced to relive one of the darkest chapters of her life. He spoke openly about the suffering she endured, not only from media pressure, but also from the betrayal and manipulation she faced behind the scenes. The lies used to gain her trust caused lasting harm, not only to Diana, but to the entire family. As soon as William spoke, headlines erupted. People everywhere began talking about Princess Diana again, her kindness, her pain, her tragic end, and the cruel treatment as she faced from the media in her final years. William's words were not just a complaint, they were a pledge. He would not allow anyone to further tarnish his mother's memory. But William was not only addressing the BBC. Behind his words lay something deeper. Years of sorrow, anger, and frustration over how his mother's story had been recounted, often unfairly or without compassion. Typically, the royal family remains silent on emotional matters, keeping everything private and polished. But not this time. Even Queen Elizabeth was reportedly disturbed by the revelations. Prince Charles, however, stayed silent, perhaps because he understood the complexity of the story. As days turned into weeks, the world kept buzzing. News channels, newspapers, and online discussions were alive with questions. William's response to the Dyson report made one thing clear: the emotional wounds within the royal family were still raw. Even after all these years, Diana's story remained unresolved. Her legacy was still being fought over. From 2021 onward into 2024, William quietly began taking steps to protect his mother's memory. He became more involved with the Diana Award, a charity honoring young people for their humanitarian efforts. Inspired by Princess Diana's compassion. But this was not just a public role for William. It became deeply personal. He wanted the world to remember his mother rightly, honestly, kindly, and with the dignity she deserved. As the next Diana Award ceremony approached, planning began behind palace doors. Royal events typically follow strict traditions. But this time, things were different. William was meticulous with every decision, especially regarding who would be invited. He was determined that the event would truly reflect Diana's spirit, ensuring nothing or no one would overshadow her memory. As discussions continued, one name quietly surfaced more frequently: Camilla. Duchess of Cornwall. Camilla's connection to Diana had always been fraught. Their histories were deeply intertwined, marked by heartbreak and years of tension. For William and his brother Harry, this was not just about royal roles or titles. It was something they felt viscerally from childhood. Although Camilla is now a respected part of the royal family, the emotional weight of her past with Diana could not be ignored. It was a sensitive issue, and for William, deeply personal. As the event date neared, William seemed increasingly resolute in keeping the ceremony focused solely on his mother. Behind the scenes, palace insiders whispered of subtle changes. Guest lists were adjusted, seating plans reviewed, and some royal traditions quietly set aside. It became increasingly clear that Camilla might not be invited. Such a move would be bold, defying royal tradition and potentially shaking the royal family in ways not felt for decades. But William appeared ready to proceed. Regardless of the consequences, he was standing up for his mother in the most powerful way he could. With each passing day, the tension grew. Was it right for Camilla to attend a ceremony honoring Diana? Would he follow through? And if he did, how far would the repercussions extend? Prince William and the Diana Award. The Diana Award holds a significance for Prince William far beyond an annual event. It is not merely a ceremony or tradition. It is a profound tribute to his late mother. Princess Diana, established in 1999, just 2 years after her tragic death. The Diana Award has grown into one of the most respected honors in the United Kingdom. Its purpose is to celebrate young people worldwide who embody the values Diana stood for: kindness, compassion, and a strong desire to make the world a better place. Each year, the event is cherished not only by Diana's admirers but also eagerly anticipated by young people globally, hoping their efforts to help others will be recognized. These young individuals are chosen for their inspiring work standing against bullying, supporting peers, protecting the environment, and advocating for mental health. Over time, the award has gained increasing influence, drawing attention from leaders, charities, and the public. But for William, it is never just a public duty or a scheduled event. It is an opportunity to honor his mother's memory in a truly meaningful way. Those who work with him say he pours his heart into every aspect of the event. He does not simply attend, He prepares thoroughly. He reads about each recipient's journey, learns their stories, and genuinely absorbs the courage and love they have shown, just as Diana did when meeting those in need. In the months leading up to the December 2024 Diana Award, the halls of Kensington Palace were filled with a quiet but focused energy. William, along with his staff, spent hours reviewing each nominee's background. According to Palace insiders, he was deeply moved by the stories of these young changemakers. To him, they were not just winners, they were reminders that his mother's spirit lived on in the world. But something else made this year's ceremony emotionally charged. New revelations about how the BBC deceived Diana during her famous 1990s interview resurfaced. This reopening of old wounds made William even more protective of her memory. He felt a heightened responsibility to ensure her legacy remained respected and untainted. For this reason, William was particularly meticulous in planning the event, especially the guest list. In previous years, invitations were sent across the royal family, presenting a united front in honoring Diana's legacy. Even Camilla, now widely recognized as the Duchess of Cornwall, had attended quietly and respectfully. Her presence was always discreet and carefully managed, given her complex history with Diana. But in Troyes, there was a noticeable shift. Palace insiders reported clear hesitation around inviting Camilla. William personally reviewed every guest list and invitation. It was evident he was exercising extreme caution, aiming to avoid anything that could detract from the award's purpose or stir emotional discomfort. The BBC scandal had reminded everyone how raw Diana's memory still felt for William. Despite Camilla's efforts over the years to earn public respect, her connection to the pain Diana endured could not be erased. For William, this was not just about protocol or appearances. It was about honoring his mother's dignity. By November 2024, rumors began swirling that Camilla might not attend. The palace said nothing publicly, but behind the scenes, tense discussions took place. William, while respectful, stood firm. He wanted this year's ceremony to focus entirely on his mother, her values, and the young heroes being honored. Excluding Camilla from such an event was a bold and emotional decision, unprecedented in its nature. But for William, it was necessary. He was not acting to provoke conflict. He was acting to preserve the purity and purpose of the event. Staff quietly adjusted seating arrangements, guest protocols, and formalities to reflect this change. It became clear that William was entering a new phase of leadership, one less concerned with royal tradition and more focused on emotional truth and sincerity. As the 25th Diana Award approached, royal watchers and the media awaited with curiosity. Would Camilla's absence be officially confirmed? Would it set a new precedent for handling future royal events? Or would there be a last-minute compromise, the history between Camilla and Princess Diana and William's emotional decision? The story of Camilla Parker Bowles and Princess Diana is not merely about two women. It is a saga that shook the royal family and profoundly impacted Prince William's emotional life. Their lives, intertwined through love, betrayal, and heartbreak, not only altered the face of the British monarchy, but left emotional scars that continue to influence royal decisions decades later. Before Diana entered Prince Charles's life, there was Camilla. Charles met Camilla in the early 1970s, and the two quickly formed a close bond. Their connection was more than friendship, it was romantic. But the relationship paused when Charles left to serve in the Navy. During that time, Camilla married another man, Andrew Parker Bowles, in 1973, though they pursued separate lives. The emotional bond between Charles and Camilla never truly faded. It lingered quietly in the background, hidden from public view. When Lady Diana Spencer married Prince Charles in 1981, she believed she was stepping into a fairy tale to the world. It appeared as the perfect royal love story, a beautiful young princess, a future king, and a life filled with duty, devotion, and love. But the reality behind palace walls was far more painful. Diana gradually realized that her husband's heart still belonged, at least in part, to another woman, Camilla. Throughout the 1980s, the cracks in Diana and Charles's marriage became harder to conceal. The royal family worked to project a happy image. But behind the scenes, Diana was deeply wounded. She knew Camilla remained a significant part of Charles's life. Despite her efforts to remain strong and maintain appearances, the pain was constant and heavy. Everything changed in 1989 at a birthday party hosted by Camilla's sister, Annabelle Elliott. Diana arrived unannounced. That night, Diana did something extraordinarily brave. She decided to confront Camilla directly in a private conversation, quietly observed by her bodyguard, Ken Worf. Diana told Camilla she knew the truth about what was happening. Looking her in the eye, she said, "Please don't treat me like an idiot. I know what's going on." Camilla's response was calm, even cold. "You have two wonderful boys." It was a chilling reply that left Diana feeling more isolated. But it was also a turning point. For the first time, Diana had spoken her truth. Throughout the early 1990s, Diana continued to grapple with the pain of being trapped in a marriage where her heart was not fully reciprocated. By 1992, the truth could no longer be hidden, and Charles and Diana separated. Though the royal family tried to keep things quiet and controlled, the emotional toll behind closed doors was overwhelming, affecting not only Diana, but also her sons, William and Harry. In 1995, Diana decided she could no longer remain silent. In her famous BBC Panorama interview, she opened up about the reality of her marriage. Her words stunned the world when she said, "There were three of us in this marriage, so it was a bit crowded." That simple sentence became iconic, revealing to the world the depth of Diana's suffering and casting Camilla as the third person who had come between a prince and his princess. For young Prince William, only 13 at the time, seeing his mother so sad and broken on national television was heartbreaking. It was not just the public scrutiny or media attention, it was the helplessness of watching the person he loved most fall apart. That pain left a deep scar on his heart. From that moment, William became fiercely protective of his mother's memory. He made a silent vow to himself never let her story be forgotten or disrespected. Then, in August 1997, tragedy struck. Princess Diana was killed in a car crash in Paris. William, just 15 years old, lost his mother in a moment that seemed incomprehensible. The pain of losing her, combined with relentless media attention, changed him forever. It shaped his views on love, trust, and family. Years later, in 2000, Charles married Camilla. Gradually, the public began to accept her new role in the royal family. But for William, it was not so simple. Outwardly, he was polite and respectful. Inwardly, the old hurt lingered. He had seen what his mother endured. He had witnessed her tears, her suffering, and remembered the woman who caused much of that pain. Accepting Camilla was not just a matter of royal duty, it was a battle between memory and healing. As the December 2024 Diana Awards ceremony approached, William had grown older, wiser, and more confident in his royal role. Yet, The emotional wounds from his mother's struggles remained raw. Recent revelations about how Diana was manipulated into the infamous Panorama interview reignited those old feelings, intensifying his protective instincts. This deepened his commitment to honoring Diana in a way that was true, respectful, and free of emotional ambiguity. From William's perspective, allowing Camilla to attend the 25th anniversary of an award created specifically to honor Diana could overshadow the event's true purpose. It could reopen old wounds, not only publicly but personally. His careful and thoughtful decisions about the guest list were thus more than a matter of royal protocol. They were a means to safeguard Diana's legacy, ensure emotional authenticity, and allow space for personal healing. The event drew closer. William's resolve grew stronger. He understood that the decision about Camilla's presence was far more than a formality. It held profound symbolic meaning. This decision was not just about his feelings toward the past. It had the potential to redefine his relationships with other senior royals. Those around him sensed his quiet determination, recognizing that William had made up his mind. For him, the Diana Award represented something pure and untouchable, free from controversy. Honoring Diana meant ensuring nothing or no one would overshadow her memory. But would William officially confirm Camilla's absence? And if so, how would the palace handle this unprecedented decision? The annual Diana Award ceremony and Camilla's absence. When the 25th annual Diana Award ceremony took place, the atmosphere was electric with excitement. Journalists, royal watchers, and the public eagerly awaited details, not only about those being honored, but also about what was happening behind the scenes within the royal family. Prince William, with his meticulous planning, ensured every detail was perfectly aligned to honor his mother's legacy. But beyond the speeches, smiles, and formalities, there was a quiet tension in the room that soon became evident. William's painstaking preparations reflected his deep commitment to the ceremony and his mother. Photographs of Diana, personally selected by William, adorned the space. These images captured her warmth, compassion, and dedication to helping others. Every aspect of the event, from the seating arrangements for the young award recipients to the emotional video tributes, was designed to highlight Diana's lasting humanitarian impact. Yet, what drew the most attention was not who was present, but who was absent. As guests arrived, royal family members were warmly welcomed by event organizers. Prince William and his wife, Princess Catherine, appeared calm yet sincere as they greeted the young honorees. Prince Harry, absent due to personal family matters, sent heartfelt messages of support. King Charles observed from the background, respecting the sensitive nature of the day. But one absence was impossible to ignore: Camilla, Duchess of Cornwall. Her absence caused a stir, quickly sparking whispers among the media. To those familiar with William's careful planning, it was clear her absence was no accident. It was a deliberate choice. Prince William had quietly decided not to invite Camilla to this deeply significant event honoring his mother, though he never made a public statement about it. This silent decision spoke volumes about William's emotional stance on his mother's complex past. By excluding Camilla, William sent a powerful message: some wounds, especially those tied to his mother's legacy, were too personal to overlook. Despite the media storm, Buckingham Palace chose not to comment. Officials avoided discussing Camilla's absence, focusing instead on the importance of the Diana Awards ceremony itself. However, this silence only fueled speculation. Sources close to the palace privately acknowledged that William's decision had caused unease. Camilla's absence was particularly notable given her growing influence within the monarchy. Reactions within royal circles were mixed. Some viewed it as a respectful boundary set by William, driven by love and a desire to protect his mother's memory. Others worried it could reignite old family conflicts at a sensitive time for the monarchy. Yet William remained calm and resolute. Those close to him described him as fully aware of the implications of his choice, both within the royal family and in the public eye. For William, this was not about sparking conflict, it was about emotional honesty. By excluding Camilla, he made it clear that his mother's legacy needed to remain free from lingering controversies. Throughout the ceremony, William honored the young recipients with warmth and sincerity, emphasizing their courage, kindness, and leadership. His speech centered on his mother's compassion and her desire to create meaningful change in the world. This message resonated deeply with the audience, both those present and the millions watching globally. It was a stark reminder that Diana's values, central to William's personal identity, would continue to guide his vision for the monarchy's future. After the ceremony, media commentators analyzed every detail of William's tribute to his mother. While they praised his emotional authenticity, Camilla's absence continued to dominate discussions. In the weeks that followed, royal experts debated the deeper implications of William's actions. Buckingham Palace remained silent, but privately, it was clear that William's decision had prompted significant reflection. Camilla respected his choice, understanding that some emotional wounds required time and distance to heal. King Charles carefully navigated the situation, balancing support for his son with acknowledgement of Camilla's role in the royal family. In 24, the Diana Award continued to grow globally. With William's genuine commitment to his mother's legacy at its core, young recipients often spoke of how his actions inspired them. As 2025 approached, it was evident that William's leadership style was reshaping public expectations. His actions demonstrated that emotional openness could coexist with tradition, transforming the monarchy's image and paving the way for a future that was both compassionate and emotionally honest. The silent confrontation between past and present, between the memory of Princess Diana and Queen Camilla's current role, has perhaps never been so stark. Prince William's unexpected action is not merely a matter of protocol or formality. It is a wordless statement about emotion, loyalty, and perhaps even defiance. Is he sending a message to protect his late mother's honor, or subtly challenging the reshaping of power within the royal family, whether you agree or disagree with the Williams' actions? It is undeniable that what is unfolding within the British royal family is no longer just an internal matter. It has become the focal point of global debates about morality, loyalty, and how a new generation of royals will shape the monarchy's future. What do you think of Prince William's shocking decision? Is it a courageous step to safeguard his mother's image, or a dangerous rift within the royal family? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your perspective is part of the larger narrative being woven from these seemingly silent events. And if you want to continue joining us in exploring the secrets behind the royal velvet curtain, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Untold stories still lie ahead.